Hi, welcome back to Cotton Creations. So, today I'm going to be doing another wonderful vegan recipe. And who does not love mac and cheese? Wait. Don't answer because I know there's some people out there that don't like mac and cheese, which is fine. But for the rest of the 99% of the population that do, I want y'all to stay tuned because I know a lot of people are like lactose intolerant and they may not be vegan per se, but they are looking for alternatives that are dairy free. So this is a great alternative for people looking for a dairy free. And then of course, if you are vegan or even if you aren't and you just enjoy really good food, this is a great recipe for you and it's super easy and man, it's very flavorful too. So if you're interested, stay tuned. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to work on our cashew cheese sauce, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to blend together some soaked cashews which I boiled in water for 20 minutes, and then I'm going to add the seasonings which are mustard powder, garlic powder, onion powder, smoked paprika, salt, pepper, some nutritional yeast, some lemon juice, and some water. And then for the water, I'm only going to use about half, and then I'm going to save the other half for later. And now I'm just going to blend everything up until everything is nice and smooth. Let's take a look and see what this cheese sauce is looking like. It's a little thick, which is normal and fine. We're going to add our cheddar shreds to it. I'm only using about half the bag of shreds because I'm going to use some later on. And I'm also going to add some olive oil and the rest of the water. And we're going to go ahead and continue to blend until everything is nice and smooth. So for those of you that have seen my lasagna video where I make my cashew ricotta cheese, you know I have to hold my blender to the side in different directions just to get everything nice and smooth. And it's because I don't have a high powered blender, but trust me, you do not need a high powered blender to get your cashews and your cheese sauce nice and smooth. This trick works for me every time. And this is a Black Friday $20 blender and it works just fine. I just want to point out that sometimes I use veggie broth instead of the water just to add more flavor. Alright, now that everything is blended together, let's check the cheese sauce, make sure the consistency is right and the flavor is right. At this point, I would highly recommend that you taste your cheese sauce. If the flavors are all perfect for you, then you can proceed. If not, go ahead and add whatever else or whatever flavors and spices that you choose to at this point, and just blend everything together until it becomes what it is that you want and that you're looking for. But for me, this is the consistency that I like it to be. I don't want it to be too thick because we are going to add it to the rest of our sauce, which is the traditional method. So we'll start that in just a second. But do you guys see this cheese sauce? It looks amazing. All right, now you want to go ahead and melt your butter down in a pot, and we're going to add to that some flour. I'm just using some all-purpose flour, and we're going to continue to stir this around so that the butter and the flour don't burn. So you have to constantly be stirring it, and you have to have your milk ready to go so when it's time you can pour it in. So like I said, you want to keep stirring it and don't stop, because the second you stop is when this stuff will start to burn, and you don't want that burnt taste in your mac and cheese. So just stir, and it will start to darken up, as you'll see later in the video, which is normal and that's fine. Now I'm going to add in the milk. I'm just using some unsweetened almond milk, and I'm just going to pour that in. I have done this with pea protein based milk like Ripple, and that works just as well. So what I'm going to do is keep stirring this, and once this starts to thicken up, I'm going to either turn the heat off or low temperature heat, because then we're going to add the rest of our cheese shreds. We're going to also add in our cashew cheese. Now for me, I don't add all the cashew cheese because sometimes I make too much. So I just, put as much as I think is needed, and I just kind of eyeball it for the most part. But you can't go wrong. So I'm going to add to this some cream cheese and some sour cream as well. And I'm just going to stir everything together until it's nice and smooth. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my cooked elbow noodles, and I just cooked them al dente because I am going to bake this macaroni and cheese. If you're not planning to bake your macaroni and cheese, you can cook yours a little longer so they're fork tender, but I did mine al dente because I am planning to bake mine. So all you want to do is go ahead and put your noodles in, and as you can see, I need a little bit more cheese sauce, so I put my cheese sauce in a separate bowl so that I didn't have too much cheese and not enough. So I will add to my noodles as I see necessary. Obviously, because I'm baking it, I'm going to want a decent amount of cheese sauce. So in my ramekins, I'm going to be layering more cheese sauce so it's nice and cheesy, and it doesn't dry out once I bake it. Now, because vegan shreds don't tend to melt all that well in the oven, I'm not going overboard as far as adding them, because if they aren't going to melt, then it's really no point. But I am adding a little bit more cheese sauce on top of them to try to help them melt, which it does for the most part, but not fully, not like traditional cheese would. So the cheese sauce is definitely going to be what is going to give you that mac and cheese, cheesy goodness. So you'll want to place your mac and cheese in the oven to bake until golden brown on top and the cheese is starting to bubble. So let's take a look at mine. As you can see, I kind of overfilled my ramekins. Sorry about that. Not the best presentation, but check out this cheese bubbling action. Yummy. So I did let these cool for a little bit, but I am going to show you what it looks like once you dig in. OMG, do you see that cheesy goodness? So, what did you think? So creamy, so cheesy. I mean, did you see that bubbling in the oven? Like, that's what you want. You want it bubbling over your pan. That means it's really cheesy. It's really, ooh. Oh my gosh. Anyway, if you want a foodgasm, this is gonna be the dish that you want to make. Okay. So anywho, tell me what you think down in the comment section below. If you like this video, make sure you give me a thumbs up. And if you don't want to miss out on any more videos like this, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell for the notifications so you know when I post. And as always, thanks for watching.